In 2020, Governor Ron DeSantis appointed another new justice to the Florida Supreme Court, Jamie R. Grosshans. Justice Grosshans served as a prosecutor, an attorney in private practice, and on several lower state courts before being asked to join the Florida Supreme Court. She's agreed to join us tonight so that we can get to know her on a more personal level. Welcome to a Supreme Evening 2021, Justice Grosshans. Can you tell us a little bit more about your early background?
Yes, I went to the University of Mississippi, known more as Ole Miss. I grew up in a small town in Mississippi, and that is where I ended up in law school. I met a boy, which I think is very frequently what happens. We both worked together, and then I ended up moving to Florida, to Central Florida, locating there just right after I graduated law school, took the bar exam, and then ended up at the Ninth Circuit State Attorney's Office as a prosecutor. It was my first job straight out of law school.
I understand that after you left the Orange County State Attorney's Office, you went into private practice.
Yes, within a few years, I decided to start my own practice. Not something I ever thought I would do. If you had asked me in law school, hey, will you be doing criminal defense and family law, I would have looked shocked. I never wanted to do that. And then it turned out I loved it. It was such a rewarding part of my career. I felt like I was really being able to assist people in some of their darkest times.
And I've heard that while in private practice, you also taught law at the college level?
I did. I taught hospitality law, which was kind of a smattering of legal-related subjects for people majoring in the hospitality industry.
What was your first appointment to the bench, and what path did you follow on your way to the Florida Supreme Court?
Well, I started out as a county court judge in Orange County, Florida, appointed by Governor Scott. I was then appointed by Governor Scott again to the 5th District Court of Appeal, serving Central Florida on that level, and then was appointed this past September by Governor DeSantis to fill Justice Luck's spot since he was moved to the 11th.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Yes, I'm married to an attorney. I have 3 children, all under the age of 12, and one very small dog named Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy Roosevelt. He looks a lot like he has the same beard and grumpy expression.
Growing up, did you imagine yourself becoming a lawyer or a judge? Was it a lifelong goal of yours?
You know, there really was not growing up. I grew up in a small southern town. There were a lot of attorneys, but not one female attorney. In fact, I did not meet a female attorney until I went to law school. So that was just not something that I expected to do. I had never met a litigator before I went to law school. It just, that wasn't, I had no lawyers in my family. It just wasn't something that I had expected to do. And then I finished school, I woke up, I said, I think being a lawyer sounds like an interesting career choice.
Given your background, what unique perspective do you think you've been able to bring to the courtroom?
I think really it was, I was a small practitioner, practicing just on my own, small firm practitioner, which I think is a different perspective than often comes to the court. I know what it's like to have a small firm. I know what it's like to have employees. I know what it's like to bill on that level. And I have really enjoyed being able to bring that perspective to the court. But as far as just informing that decision, it really was what I thought I could do well. I knew that I cared about those subjects. I knew that I would care about my clients, and I wanted to be able to help people in those special times that they really needed some extra help.
Since you started early in your legal career as a county prosecutor and in private practice, what inspired you to work toward becoming a judge?
Yes, so I was in probably my 5th year of practice, and I was at an event in Orange County, and there was a judge, Judge John Jordan. He's still on the bench there, and he spoke just at a law-related event there, and really was so expressive and persuasive about people considering this pathway, the service element, and just being able to really give back to the community and to the state. And that was really the first time that I had thought through doing this. I remember looking at my husband and saying, I think I might like to do that someday. And I think that was really a turning point in how I viewed my career, how I viewed things that I was involved in, with that as being more of a goal rather than something that I had never really even thought about before.
The theme of a Supreme Evening this year is professionalism and leadership. If you had to pick a character from literature to embody a good or unique leadership quality, what would it be?
Yeah, I was thinking through characters that I love reading about. And one of them that I've always loved is Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. This was a friend of someone who was called to do something very noble, and yet he wasn't called. He wasn't asked to do anything. He volunteered. He took a journey. He was loyal. He was faithful. And at the end of the day, he was the one that ended up saving Frodo and throwing that ring into the fire and saving the world. And I always thought that he was an excellent character and that he was true to what he believed in from day one. He was loyal, he was faithful, and I've always really enjoyed his character because he's not the main character. He's not necessarily even the hero that everybody talks about from Lord of the Rings. But in my mind, he plays such a pivotal role in saving the world at the end of the day.
On the topic of professionalism, what advice can you give to our audience on maintaining professionalism in this age of social media, where what you post can follow you forever?
What I always tell young lawyers when they ask for advice or thoughts is that your reputation follows you forever. It's very easy to lose a reputation, very difficult to keep it over the years. So always remembering each word matters, each action matters. A client will come and go, a case will come and go, but your reputation is with you forever. And that's something I usually would tell young attorneys, whether they're in the courtroom or in the virtual courtroom.
It was a delight getting to know you a little bit better, Justice Grosshans, and I'm sure the entire audience will join me in wishing you much success during your time on the High Court.
Thank you. It was wonderful to be here.
Now back to you, Hank,